I could never put my finger on it. Why exactly I wanted to join the Alliance. Maybe I was envious of Steven. Or maybe I'm just hyper-competitive. Ever since our parents and eldest brother died when we were kids, I've been this way. Competitive. Maybe I wanted the attention. Piloting frames, even if it was just VR, was a good distraction from everything that was going on. I think that's what it was. The thrill and adrenaline. Whenever me and Steven fought, it was like a drug. If that's how it felt during VR, well, then how would the real thing feel? Childish logic, I know, but I never did feel connected to the life that I lived. When our family died, we were taken in by Genesis Global. Our parents were pretty important to the company, so they looked after us. Steven eventually went on to the Alliance, and I wanted to follow suit, but he wouldn't allow it. So instead, I joined the intern program. I made some friends: Mike, Grace, Sean, Christina, Jen, and then there was Amy. I enjoyed the VR matches I was able to have with everyone. Mike in particular got pretty enthusiastic. But even with all that, it was never enough for me. Not having a family would do that. Amy was the same. Her dad was never around, and she lost her mom too. Maybe that's why I developed feelings for her. Because I could relate. But she too was pretty distant. Once she became more involved in my life, things started changing, and I found the confidence to apply for the Alliance entrance exam. When Steven had his match with his superior, he somehow found out about it. And as always, he had to voice his disapproval, which was why it was so surprising to hear that he was the one who emailed me the application. Things were going pretty fast. It was so disorienting, but I still enjoyed the ride. Amy was there for me more and more. I mean, it felt really weird. Things were going pretty fast. I mean, okay, like, maybe too fast. But I guess that's what happens when two loners bond. For the first time in my life, I had focus. Hearing her problems made me rethink my goal. Maybe trying to join the Alliance just so I could enjoy more of that adrenaline was naive. Maybe I should do something with it. That was when I knew that I wanted to join the Alliance to make a difference. I was assigned an operator for the exam, an overseer of sorts. Karen Delore. She was, well, not exactly what I expected my operator to be like. Pretty bossy, sarcastic, impatient, kind of a bitch, truthfully, and also someone my brother seemed to dislike. But with all that, she is someone I can get along with. It didn't really hit me until I arrived, seeing the other examinees, and then my own frame. It was pretty nerve-wracking. The cockpit was the same as the ones in the VR machines. It made sense since everything was developed by Genesis Global. I was scared. But I knew I wasn't doing this alone. Not anymore. So it didn't take too long for me to ease into it. The others were good. Probably a little too good. Put me on edge. It didn't take long for me to understand why. It didn't make any sense. These people who were here for the exam, they turned on me. My brain was freaking out, but I knew I couldn't show it. There wasn't any time for that. It's hard to explain, but it's like a switch in my head was flipped, and I had to do whatever I could just to survive. Trial by fire, I suppose. I managed to do what I could against them. They underestimated me. I mean, I can't blame them for that. I was a kid after all, but my friends were here to watch me, and I couldn't let them down. Things were starting to look up, but then it couldn't be real, right? It wasn't a game. I wasn't wrong. I was justified. But even still, I took a life. I don't know what came over me. I couldn't tell what was happening. Everything was a blur. I felt sick to my stomach. I killed someone. Things couldn't possibly get worse from there. But I was wrong. That one pilot wanted to go easy on me. He felt pity for me. I was nothing but a child. Then this thing showed up. It was huge. A trump card these bastards had up their sleeves. I just didn't know what was really going on. Things looked bad, but I had to pull myself together. I was running on fumes at that point. My anger was the only thing that kept me going. I was outnumbered, and there was no way my luck would continue. Thank God for Stephen. If he didn't show up when he did, then who knows what would have happened. Stephen showing up changed the landscape. The emotion and fear I pushed to the side suddenly took over. We were being attacked by terrorists, and my friends were in danger. This wasn't the reality I expected. It wasn't the vision of my dream that I strove for. It was chaos. Maybe it was a second wind. Maybe it was knowing Stephen was there to back me up. But I forced myself to attack that behemoth of a machine, all while not knowing the truth. When Stephen screamed those words to me, everything changed. I felt numb, paralyzed, and unable to process a damn thing. Why was Amy in there? Why? What was the point? What were they hoping to accomplish? Was it because of her dad's position? Was she just being punished because of him? What am I supposed to do? How the hell did my dream turn into such a nightmare?